to my channel. It is your favorite baby girl on the girl next door. Yes. And today marks it officially 3 years that I've been married. So it is my wedding anniversary. Whew. Man, these past 3 years has been so lovely for me since I've been married to my Fizzy. It has been one smooth ride to Disneyland, and believe me, we are not going to be leaving this place anytime soon. So today on the channel, I'm going to be sharing with us what life or how life has been for me after marriage, what's changed and what did not change. So basically we are going to be discussing life before and after marriage. But before we go into that, I just want to say thank you to you that is here, is watching this video today. It means a lot to me. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for being here every time. It is something that I do not take for granted. And you that is coming across my channel for the first time, yes, I know that you are thinking whether you should subscribe to the channel or not. You really need to subscribe to this channel, because here we have a lot of hot gist for you. So please do subscribe to the channel. Do not waste time, so that you don't get to miss out on a lot of things that we have here on the channel. And when you do not hesitate to click on the notification bell, so that if I upload a video, you will get to see and know about that video. So as I said earlier, today we are going to be discussing life after marriage, what has changed and what did not change. The truth is that after my marriage, yes, not just after my marriage, after marriage, the truth is that things change. Definitely a lot of things change in my life, which I believe is also applicable to other married people, because your life the way it was when you were single can never be the same when you are married. When you were single, it was just you and you alone, but after marriage it becomes you and your spouse. So a lot of things we really need to change. Then on my own part, yes, there were a lot of changes, because after my marriage things we're not really the same again. I had to do some adjustments in my life in order to accommodate my spouse. So let's look at some of the things that changed after my marriage. All right, now why am I sharing this thing? Because a lot of young people have come to meet me to ask me, Ma, how has life been after marriage? What is after marriage life all about, or what does it look like? So that is why I feel that there is need for me to share this thing today on my wedding anniversary. All right, so after marriage, yes, the first thing that changes after marriage is what? Your name. Your title changes after marriage. Yes, after marriage, your title automatically changes from a girlfriend or boyfriend, and you start answering a wife or a husband. So yes, definitely it will have to change, because even in the society, as you move from one level to another, your title will continue to change. Somebody that is working as a salesperson in an organization, once you can begin as a sales rep, but if you have been promoted, you now stop answering a sales rep and then you become a sales manager. So you see, the first thing that changes immediately after your marriage is your title. Because after marriage, nobody addresses you as a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a fiancé or a fiancée. Now people will start calling you a wife, or they will start calling you a husband. So your title changes immediately after marriage. And not only does your title change, after marriage, the responsibilities also increases. Yes. Why? Why does the responsibility increase? Because immediately after your marriage, you become basically everything to your spouse. You are not just his wife or her husband. You become more than that. You become his father, you become his mother, his sibling. In fact, everything, his friend, his confidant, even his enemy. Yes, of course, because there are sometimes that the two of you will not be in good terms. So at that point, you will become his enemy. So after marriage, responsibility increases. Now, still using the sales rep and sales manager analogy as an example. Now, when you are a sales rep in an organization has some responsibilities, but immediately you become a sales manager, the responsibility increases, your work scope increases, and the same thing is also applicable when you get married. After you're married, there will be a lot of things that you are going to be responsible for. This time around, you are not just responsible to yourself alone, you become responsible to another human being who is being expected that you become everything to that person. And if by the grace of God, when children will start coming, the responsibility also does what? Increases. Because here you become what? Both a mother, a sister, a friend, a wife, a husband, a brother, everything at all. So there must be an increase in what? Responsibility, because this time around you are no longer responsible to yourself, but you are responsible to another person. And then marriage brings about a lot of sharing. There are no secrets in marriage. That's true, because in marriage you share practically everything. You share your success, you share your failures, you share your fears, you share your challenges, you share even very funny things. So marriage brings about a lot of sharing. Me personally, I used to be a very, very secretive person. But after my marriage, I had to learn how to share, because I had to make sure that I am on the same page with my spouse, and he also makes sure that he is on the same page with me. So when you are keeping secret, nobody knows what is in the other person's mind, and that is not good for, it is not good for marriage to thrive. So marriage brings about what? A lot of sharing. And that is why I said earlier that in marriage there are no secrets. Everything is being left open between you and your spouse. Yes. And also, in addition to that, after marriage, you learn how to exhibit more self-control. Yes, so that is one thing that marriage has taught me. How to manage myself, how to manage my utterance, to manage my mood swing. Yes, I used to have mood swings before I got married. I can sometimes just burst out and talk anyhow, say whatever that was on my mind. But then after marriage, I learned that sometimes it is not just good for you to say exactly what you have in mind, exactly the way you want it. So marriage brings about self-control. Marriage teaches self-control, because in this case, after marriage, there are now two people in the relationship, and for that relationship to work, those two people must abide by each other's let me not just call it through, but these two people will have to live according to each other's dictates. You have to make sure that you control the way you behave, you control the way you talk, you control the way you even spend. Yes, because I used to be a lot. No, I was not extravagant, but when I was single, I can say something that I like, and once I like that thing, no matter the cost, I don't mind. I just want to go for it and buy it, no matter what it costs. But after marriage, I started calculating even the things I spend money on, because before I do any spending, I ask myself, is it really, really necessary for me to do this? That is what? Self-control. Even before I talk, there are some things that my husband will do, and I will look at him, I will just ask myself, shouting, is it going to bring the solution to this? Or is shouting the best way to react to this? Or getting angry, is it the best way to react to this? So I began to do what? I started controlling the way I react to things. I started controlling the way I do things. And not only me, I'm sure that most people that are married, they are also exhibiting this self-control, because for you to have a blissful marriage, there are certain things that you just have to let go sometimes. And then, in addition to having that self-control, forgiveness comes easily after marriage. Because you know that you are in this ship with this person for a long time, in fact forever, and because of that, you just have to learn how to forgive easily. No matter how the person offends you, no matter what the person does to you, marriage teaches us to forgive. And this forgiveness comes what? Easily, especially where there is love between the wife and the husband. Because when the husband offends the wife, the wife will forgive the husband, and when the wife offends the husband will have to forgive. Because if there is no forgiveness, the two people cannot live in harmony, and the house will become very, very hot. The house will become very toxic. So for you to have a sweet marriage, there must be forgiveness. And being married brings about what? Easy forgiveness. So forgiveness comes easily after marriage. And also, now, let me get to this part. Do you know that after marriage, the sex becomes better? I'm telling you the truth. No. I'm not trying to say that. Yes. I'm not trying to say that. Well, I don't know how to put it, but the truth is that for me, sex became even better after marriage. Why do I say so? Because after marriage, I know that this person is solely mine. I'm not sharing him with anybody. There is nobody that will come from anywhere and lay claim to him. He was mine and solely mine and nobody else. And because of that, there is this realization that comes when you are having sex or making out with your spouse, because you know that this person is yours. And then, for some of us that are Christian, we know that sex before marriage is a sin. That is fornication. And most times when you see young people engaging in a sex when they are not married, there's this guilt that comes with it. But after marriage, the guilt is no longer there, because you've been given the license to go ahead and do it anyhow and anywhere you want. So the sex actually becomes very, very sweet, very enjoyable, very relaxing, and very satisfying after marriage. Yeah, that's one of the best parts of marriage for me, And then there is this feeling sometimes that you get after marriage, just to be alone. So after marriage, sometimes you pray for some alone time. Yes, the truth is that before marriage, when you were living apart from your spouse, most of the times you just want to be together, you want to spend a lot of time together, you just want to be in your spouse's company. That's the time that you were courting or the time that you were dating. But believe me, after marriage, at a point, the togetherness becomes too much that you just want to be alone for some time. Sometimes, I will just go inside the toilet and lock myself up just to have at least 5 minutes for myself. And my husband is this kind of person that just wants to be with you, serenade you all the time, talk with you, chat with you. Whenever he's at home, he just wants to have some moments with the wife. But the truth is that sometimes it becomes so much that I just want to have a minute for myself, to think about, just to be with me and my thoughts alone. So for me, after marriage, yes, before I got married, I always wanted to be with him. But then after the marriage, sometimes I just feel that this man should just let me be. Let me just stay on my own and enjoy my own company. So after marriage, there may be this tendency for you to crave for some alone time. And also, after marriage, we learn to compromise. Now, when I talk about compromising in this situation, I don't mean that you should compromise your happiness for your spouse. I don't mean that you should compromise your rights to your spouse. But what I'm saying is that after marriage, you get to learn how to meet your spouse in the middle. You will no longer be at the extremes, but rather you start coming together at the middle. You learn how to work together. You learn how to allow some things go. You learn how to agree to disagree. So marriage brings about a lot of compromise. But I'm not talking about compromising your happiness. I'm not talking about compromising when you are being bullied in marriage. I'm not talking about compromising when your happiness is not being considered. But I'm talking about what? Coming together, taking a decision together in order to ensure that the marriage continues to thrive very, very well. So there are lots and lots of compromise after marriage. And then another one is that after marriage, there's this thing that you become more connected to your spouse. I will say something like intuitive connection. Yes, there is more intuitive connection after marriage. More like there is what? A telepathic communication between you and your spouse. You see, have you ever been to a couple's house or a family whereby when you get to the house, the husband will just look at the wife and the wife will know exactly what she's supposed to do, or the wife will look at the husband and the husband will know exactly what he is supposed to do at that stage? That is because after marriage there is what? An intuitive connection between the wife and the husband, whereby if the husband is in the pain, the wife will get to know about it, or if the wife needs something, the husband will get to know about it even without being told categorically by the other party. So this intuitive connection comes about when you've stayed with your spouse for a period of time. You see yourself thinking alike, you see yourself reasoning alike, you see yourself talking alike, that you can even say something when your husband is not around, and when your husband comes back, it will still be the same thing that you said earlier that he's going to repeat. That is because marriage brings about what? More connection. You'll be more intuitively connected to your spouse, to the extent that there are some things that you don't just have to say. You just see yourself acting and reasoning the same way. And that is why most of the times, when people are married for a period of time, you look at the husband, you look at the wife, you say, these two people, they look alike. Yes, they actually do look alike, but sometimes it may not really be physically looking alike. It may be looking alike emotionally, looking alike financially, looking alike in some other aspects that is not really physically. So yes, there is more connection after marriage. So this is where I'll be stopping for today, because remember I told you that after marriage definitely there will be changes. But the thing is that what's changed in my life may not really be the same thing that changed in another person's life. There are some of the changes that will be the same for everybody, and there are some of the changes that will also be different for different people. After all, for some people, after marriage, the sleeping position will also change, because now you have to learn how to share your bed with another person. If you're somebody that don't used to sleep with people before, that means you prefer sleeping alone, after marriage, of course, you have to learn how to share your bed. And that is what? Another change that comes with marriage. So today is my marriage anniversary, and I know there are lots of young people out there that this is going to be very useful for. And to those of you that are watching this video, if you're married, will you mind sharing with us on the comment section how life has been for you after marriage? Has it been all rosy? Has there been changes, or has things remained the same for you after marriage? Now, the truth is that a lot of people are eager to go into marriage. But then, marriage is not something that you should rush into. As a young person, I always advise my young friends that they should take their time, think it through before they decide to go into this institution called marriage. Don't be in a hurry. I'm not saying that marriage is not sweet. Of course, marriage is very sweet. Some people will tell you that marriage is not a bed of roses. But to me, I think marriage is really a bed of roses. Why do I say so? Because every rose do come with its own thorns. So every marriage, no matter how sweet it is, no matter how enjoyable it is, there will be some period when you feel that if you knew, you wouldn't have gotten married to this person. So those are the thorns that the marriage comes with. But then, if you are able to walk through those thorns, believe me, your marriage is going to be full of bliss. So that is why I say, before you go into marriage, take your time, think it through. Be sure that the person that you are going to marry is actually somebody that you know you can spend the rest of your life with. So think it through. And for you that is already married, yes, don't wish that your marriage is like another person's marriage, because while you are in your house, you don't know what is going on in another person's house. Your marriage is the best kind of marriage that you can ever have, not another person's own. So enjoy your marriage, and please continue to pray for me so that this marriage with my Efizi will continue to grow and wax stronger and stronger. And officially, I want to say I love you, baby. These 3 years has been the best 3 years of my life, and if I should do it all over again, you will still be the one that I want to end up with. So till I come your way again next time, this is Uju. You see that lady that you have in your life, continue to protect her because she is your responsibility. See you soon. Bye.